Hi, welcome to HBCU Live. I'm Kevin Ross. Stomp the Yard, Drumline. If you've seen these films, you know exactly what I'm talking about. In fact, when was the last time you've seen an episode of A Different World? I know. I still haven't told you exactly what is an HBCU. The Higher Education Act passed by Congress in the 60s essentially defined an HBCU as any historically black college or university that was established prior to 1964, whose principal mission was, and continues to be, the education of black Americans. Currently, there are 110 of these institutions, and they include public and private institutions and a number of medical schools, as well as a number of other institutions across the country. When you look at the excitement and the energy at many of these historically black colleges and universities, whether they're Morehouse College, my alumni, Florida A&M, Hampton or Howard University, Prairie View A&M, what you see at these colleges and universities is a type of community, a type of fellowship, if you will. So even though 13% of African Americans choose to go to these black colleges and institutions of higher learning, oftentimes those are the institutions that end up graduating the most percentages of blacks. It's amazing how when we are in this day and age that we're still talking about historically black colleges and universities, people are still questioning whether or not there's a need. Our guest today will be speaking on the issue of historically black colleges and universities as it pertains to young people pursuing their higher education goals. Superintendent David Brewer oversees the Los Angeles Unified School District, and he is a distinguished graduate of Prairie View A&M University. John Fleming, who attended Hampton University, is Vice President of Black Educational Events, and along with his father, they put on the annual Angel City Classic at the Los Angeles Coliseum. And finally, successful business entrepreneur, philanthropist, and avid art collector Bernard Kinsey, who is a proud alumnus of Florida A&M University. Gentlemen, welcome. I want to start with Superintendent Brewer. Superintendent, you've been the superintendent of LAUSD now for a number of years. What made you decide to pursue education, and did it have any impact on your experience in historically black college and university?
Well, absolutely. My mother and father were graduates of Tuskegee. Well, my father graduated from Tuskegee, and my mother graduated from Alabama A&M. And so education, as far as I was concerned, was a foregone conclusion. I was going to go to college. And I was going to go to a historically black college. Mm-hmm. In fact, I started at Howard University initially and then transferred down to Prairie View A&M University. And as a result of that experience, obviously I joined the Navy, and I spent over 35 years in the United States Navy and eventually showed up here as your superintendent. So when you look at historically black colleges and universities, what you will find is that a large percentage of your more prominent African Americans finished from those schools. And I attribute that to the nurturing environment that I was in down at Prairie View, for example. I couldn't get away with anything down there. People really took you on, and not only as a student, mm-hmm. but they took you on as a person. So mm-hmm. That's the reason I think I was so successful.
John Fleming, you went to Hampton University, and you were based in Texas. I understand now that you are traveling back from Los Angeles to Texas on several business endeavors, but what made you choose a black college for your educational experience?
Well, for me, it was pretty simple. Hampton University, and one of the key words that Admiral Brewer just said was a nurturing environment. I chose that. My grandfather actually taught at Hampton University, so there was some legacy at the university itself. But when I went there, what I was told to expect is that you're going to find a family. You're going to find another uncle, another brother, another sister, another mother, another father that are not only teaching you about education, but caring about you as a person. And they're going to develop you as a person to be that individual that can conduct themselves in society in the utmost and most professional way. So that was my main reason of going to Hampton University. On top of that, the school is absolutely beautiful. I couldn't find another environment to be so conducive to my education. And for those reasons itself were the only reasons that I chose Hampton University, and I didn't even choose anything else. Didn't want to.
Bernard Kinsey, you actually grew up in the Florida area, and you were on this campus surrounded by predominantly African Americans. Was that an unusual experience for you to being in this environment with other black folks?
No. When I grew up in the 60s, like Admiral Brewer, you know, black folks we had everything. I mean, we had our own high schools, we had our own communities, our own businesses. I grew up in West Palm Beach. My granddaddy had Kinsey Grocery, one of the biggest grocery stores in Palm Beach County. Had the best meats in Palm Beach County. And to a large degree, our community all over this country, particularly in the West, don't understand how much we've given up with this whole integration piece. I mean, what we got was integration. What we needed was desegregation. And we gave up a lot of our businesses, which I think is really at the core of a lot of our issues now with black unemployment and the prison population and things like that. But my mom and dad went to Florida A&M back in the late 30s.
Your legacy.
Oh yeah, my mom played in the band, and you know, it was kind of like, that's what you're going to do. So it was pretty simple. My dad sent 4 of us to school at the same time. To show you what education meant in our family. He mortgaged his house. My sister was at Howard, another one at Tennessee State, and my brother and I were at Florida A&M, a freshman, sophomore, junior, and a senior. So when you see that kind of love for education, it's difficult to see how our young people don't understand what they're giving away when we have these kind of dropout rates.
Well, you know, you mentioned an interesting point. I think I'm the only one here that's actually a native of Los Angeles. I did not even hear about black colleges until my junior year in high school. In fact, I remember going to a party with a friend who went to Morehouse, and I heard all these people talking about Howard. And I had never heard of Howard. I thought they were talking about Harvard.
Yeah. A lot of people get that.
Barack's alma mater. Yeah. And so at the time I thought to myself, wow, all these African Americans go to Harvard. If you're out here in Los Angeles, and I'll direct this to Superintendent Brewer, do you find that African Americans here in the city tend to not know enough about these black institutions?
Yeah, I would say that. And one of the reasons why I like the Angel City Classic is because the Angel City Classic is basically going to expose a lot of our youth to historically black colleges. In fact, I am opening up several schools to the presidents of the universities. To this year's Angel City Classic, of course, will be my alma mater, Prairie View, who will beat Morehouse. That's another story. That's another story. But I am opening up I am opening up my campuses to them because they have so much to offer. When you look at a Morehouse, and I'm going to brag on Morehouse here for a minute.
Okay.
Because my nephew went to Morehouse.
Okay.
And we were there in 1992 along with Ennis Cosby, who's Cosby's son, finished at the same time. But to see 500, 600, 700, 800 black men graduate from college is powerful.
That's huge.
That's powerful. You don't see that anywhere else in this country.
And why do you think that is?
Well, the bottom line is that we have a lot of problems,
okay,
to put it bluntly. My cell phone goes off probably at least 2 or 3 times a month with the death of a child here in Los Angeles, and a large percentage of those children are African Americans.
Yeah. And disproportionately male.
Yes, and disproportionately male. African American males are the lowest performers in the entire school district, in spite of the fact that we have English language learners in the school district. And so, you know, we have to get on a mission here, and historically black colleges provide that foundation in terms of relationships and personalization that a lot of these kids need. They're going to experience something totally different when they go to a historically black college.